TIFU by giving my girlfriend an open neck with flour. This happened like honestly a couple of minutes ago. I'm talking about a farm fresh fuck up. So, if you don't know what an open neck is, it's basically giving someone a firm open palm slap and grab to the back of their neck. Hence, open neck. My girlfriend has an oddly shaped head. It's not ugly, it's just incredibly round and has a very baby-like appearance. It fits her well. I have an ugly butternut head. It's like my cheesecake was formed in a square box, like this Japanese watermelons. So I'm not a candidate for the perfect head club. Most of the time, if not all the time, she has her hair in a tight bun. It makes her round, baby-like head look extra round and open neckable. About a month ago I started to get on the pattern of calling her out about her head. I catch her off guard and yell baby head cheesecake followed by a light slap and grab to the back of her neck. She thought this was always funny, but on the rare occasion she just isn't in the vibe and doesn't find it funny, so I obviously have to apologize. Then offer a foot rub to consolidate for my butternut behavior. Well, today, she seemed in a good mood. She was playing NHL 20 online on my Xbox. She's competitive, and these dudes were whooping her zucchini. She wasn't saying anything and I noticed no signs of her angered. She's just silent with a deadlock on the flat screen, cute as can be. I had an idea. The next time she scored, I'll give her an open neck as a way to boost her confidence. Makes no sense to you, but it's a perfect plan to me. That wasn't all though. I'll use flour instead of just my bare hand so she gets that feeling of a winning season coach being doused in Gatorade from the cooler like you see in old football films. Well, I set myself up to where I had the flour in my hand, waiting behind her. Game's in overtime. Now she's tense. She comes up, rips a shot, scores and wins it. She jumps up and turns around. Coconut G. Smack. Now I had no clue she was gonna jump up and look at me. I didn't think she knew I was there. But my instinct to aim for the neck kicked in as soon as I saw the goal happen. It didn't hit her neck. Instead, I butternut slapped her with a handful of flour which got into her eyes and sent her into a sneezing fit. The white powder is everywhere on my couch, floor, controller, table, food, everywhere. She's running around the living room yelling, "Gar did you achoo, pthhhhhh we did ya fucky achoo mother fpthhhhh." Can't stop laughing, but then I realized she's actually starting to have an actual sneezing fit as she can't control it. I thought she was gonna die, but she was fine. Her retaliation was to take the bag of flour and throw it at me, sending me into a sneezing fit. So now, I have to run around the living room as well with this flour in my eyes and up my nose. We're both yelling, sneezing, screaming, spitting, everything. My living room is completely destroyed with flour. There is flour everywhere. On the table, couch, floors, on the goddamn walls. It's even on the kitchen stove. My eyes are red as a beet. She's still cussing me out and sneezing and I'm still uncontrollably laughing. This ordeal has been going on for about 3 hours now. TL, doctor, basically coconut slapped my girlfriend in the face with a handful of baking flour and sent her into a sneezing fit and coconut my entire living room up. Edit, thank you for silver. I didn't think this was that great of a post. I thought it was good but not good enough for a medal. Figured I should give y'all a little backstory about the aftermath and how we handled it. She was only mad because she couldn't stop sneezing. All in all, after the fact we could not stop laughing at it. Our 3-month-old Frenchie, named Greg, was also covered in flour which we didn't notice until this morning. We cleaned up the mess completely, even went out and bought a rug and furniture cleaner. She took the liberty of buying a new bag of flour because she is a baker and she was upset that she threw it and wasted it. She only blamed herself, because ultimately she created more of the mess. Imagine if 5'11" women's basketball forward whipping a big of flour across a living room. Definitely had some power behind it, could have caused a lot of damage. Yes, I deserved it. Let's clarify these things also. She is not a priss, she took this butternut like a champion. She didn't sit around and cry because she had flour everywhere. She was squaring up ready to body box instead. She wasn't wearing expensive butternut leggings and sleepwear. She was wearing my shirt, pantsless. She was not as mad as you think she was. Her reaction was a surprised what the zucchini happened ordeal. And finally, I didn't rock her zucchini with the slap. I didn't backhand her, or create contact to where it would harm her. The motion of the slap came down overhand, and her being shorter than I am caused her to look up. creating a flower-filled open palm slap right to her forehead and eyebrow area. So don't get it twisted. There's no domestic violence here. The flower cushioned the blow. She said nothing about the slap. To her it just was as if someone threw it in her face. Do you want ants? Because this is how you get ants. NGL, if I told her ants would be coming, she would be in a state of panic and attempt to vacate the house. Babyhead hates bugs. I know this TIFU is real because it's so dumb lol. Good job. I love how the narration is so vivid that I can literally picture the entire incident unfolding, scene by scene. Great TIFU and great presentation there, man. Also, my condolences for having to clean the entire living room. Flower is a coconut. More to the point, a glue that makes a great culture medium. To misquote Archer, do you want mold? Cause this is how you get mold. If the glue-like consistency wasn't bad enough, you'll also torture anyone in the household that has allergies after the fact if you don't approach the cleanup methodically. Any vacuum is better than none, but hoovering up fine-grained debris without filtration is essentially leaf blowing it out the exhaust of the vacuum. If you can clean up silt, powder, etc., glitter bombs are child's play. Glitter can do bad things to pets if they ingest enough of it. However, size and composition matter. I have a unique perspective on this, and let me assure you, you're going to be finding flower for years. You see, on November 30, 2018, Anchorage had a 7.1 earthquake. My daughter was attempting to place our then 7-month-old underneath her small trampoline over him and trying to jump. My wife placed the trampoline safely in the kitchen behind a baby gate. During the earthquake, our Costco-sized container of baking powder fell out of the cupboard, landed on the trampoline, and lost its lid. I found some powder the other day while cleaning around the dishwasher. You'll never find it all. TIFU by force feeding myself and throwing up at my crush's house. So obligatory not today but actually. New Year's Eve morning, I just got the idea to post this today. My body cannot handle sweet stuff, my stomach just absolutely rejects it. I mean, I think the taste is okay, but if I eat like more than 3 Kisses or Hershey's I just violently throw up. However, there are some exceptions to this, but they aren't important. The other day I was at my friend's house and I kinda like her and we were just watching TV on her couch and stuff, and she gets up and comes back with one of those large Hershey bars. She asked me if I want half and I politely just say no thanks because I don't like explaining things, and then she, come on, don't make me eat this whole thing. So I say fine and I take half and I start eating it, and I can already feel my stomach aching and the pure pain, but I decide to push through it because the world is dark and scary and full of creepy clown dentists, but you got to push through and hope there's better stuff ahead. Princess Carolyn. Yeah, like 5 seconds later I projectile vomited all over her carpet and then remember her trying to help me walk to the bathroom where I proceeded to vomit more in the sink. Then I got really dizzy and couldn't remember much after besides waking up on her couch and then her asking if I was okay. I went home immediately after that. TL, doctor, I threw up all over my friend's carpet after forcing myself to eat chocolate. I'm guessing you have an allergy to chocolate, or at least something commonly in chocolate, like soy perhaps. Regardless, it's not something you should mess around with. I've met quite a few people who dislike very sweet things, but none of them have that big of a reaction. Even one of my friends with an allergy to a component of chocolate needs to go get that checked out because eating things he's allergic to can lead not just to throwing up, but also to much worse cases like anaphylactic shock if he does consume too much. Because I don't like explaining things. Thanks. Girl's name I like, but if I eat more than a Hershey Kiss or 2 worth of sweets it really upsets my stomach. It sucks, cause I really like sweets, but it's always been that way. Crisis averted. Cause I don't like explaining things. / makes Reddit post explaining what happened / Tell your parents they need to take you to a doctor after you explain it to them. Don't get me wrong, but there are limits of what I'm willing to do for a girl, and vomiting isn't one of them. There's a massive gap between a long explanation and just saying I can't eat any of that without getting sick. I really don't understand how you decide to eat half a candy bar because you don't want to upset this girl. but you are perfectly fine with the, apparently, inevitable outcome of projectile vomiting in her presence. Did you think that puking in her lap would be more attractive than refusing to eat a candy bar? On the bright side, you have plenty of room to improve your decision-making skills. Perfect time to make a New Year's resolution. You must be a girl if you don't understand the sheer stupidity that a single butternut can create. TIFU by not learning my lesson and exploding a massive boil before seeing a girl I liked. Oh, this happened back when I was in university. Heads up, pun intended, this is super gross. So brace yourselves. It all started with this lump on my back, right along my spine between the shoulder blades. It had been there for years and nothing seemed to come of it, and it just looked and felt like a little lump. One day in uni, I woke up in the dead of night feeling super itchy. The lump had been a tad itchy before, but now it was at a point that I couldn't handle it anymore and actually got past that super sleepy stage where you just don't want to get out of bed, and I decided I'm going to go to the bathroom and take a look at what's going on back there. I look in the mirror, to the best of my ability since it's on my back, and I can see sort of generally that the lump looks a bit more defined, a bit more red, and I start thinking, maybe all these years it really has been a pimple as I had been suspicious before, but it had borne no fruit, so to speak, when I tried to coax any pus. So I reach back and give it a bit of a squeeze. Nothing could have prepared me for that moment. I was not looking in the mirror when I squeezed, but I heard this paff noise and felt liquid running down my back, so I turned around and it was like something out of a horror show. Kid you not, blood and pus everywhere. The mirror is covered with splatter. It's on the sink, on the walls, a little bit of it made its way to the adjacent toilet even. I didn't know how to process what I was witnessing. I look between the splatter at my back and see blood just pouring down. Okay, I may be not pouring, but it was a continuous flow, and I was definitely bleeding. The splatter is no exaggeration though. Well, now I'm wide awake, and I'm panicking. The blood just doesn't seem to want to stop, and I, the poor, unprepared, and stupid university student, did not have any band-aids at all, so I'm just grabbing toilet paper and trying my best to press it against the hole in my back until the blood clots. Eventually, it does. Now I am left to clean the murder scene on the walls so as not to freak out any of my roommates. Finally, after what seemed like forever, I was able to go back to bed, but of course I am wide awake, so that didn't happen all too soon. In the morning, I shared this crazy story with one of my roomies because I just needed to share, and we had a good laugh. Later that day, a friend of mine who I had a crush on at the time was coming by to visit. I was stoked and invited her in, and we were chilling out in my room when my back starts getting hella itchy again. I'm thinking, fuck, not this stupid thing again, and I excuse myself for a moment to go to the bathroom. Well, you can guess how stupid I am here. Not having any foresight, or just because I assumed that the crazy death scene was a one-off, and all that I have is maybe a tiny bit of pus or something, I decided to give this guy a little squeeze again. /paff. Oh no. No. Again, blood running down my back, same murder, same MO. Same everything. It is freaking everywhere. But I don't stop there. Oh no. Oh no. This time I figure I've got to take care of this guy for good, so I keep squeezing. And oh man, it's like cheesy chunks start popping out in fits and starts like a popcorn popper. And there's so much of it. It seems like there's no end. Finally, after cleaning up the carnival horror, and wiping down the bathroom mirror and walls etc., I am left with one issue. Still no band-aids, still bleeding. I have already been in this bathroom way too long, and she's got to be wondering what I'm doing, so I take some of the paper towel, press it on my back again, put my shirt back on, and try to hold the toilet paper in place. I had a plan. I swiftly re-entered my room, albeit somewhat awkwardly because my hand was on my back, but I tried to pass it off like I was just scratching my back as I entered the room. I then very quickly sat at my computer chair, leaning my back against the chair so that the toilet paper was now pressed between my back and the chair. And I held that pose the whole time. I refused to leave my chair and refused to lean forward. Chatting up the girl I liked for a while, sitting super strangely until she got up to leave. Oh butternut. Now what? I just kinda lean back and am like, well, good to see ya. Bye. And just did not get up. No hug goodbye, just, Thanks for coming out, see yourself to the door, my lady. She then walked down the stairs while I sat like an idiot in my bedroom and she let herself out. Super smooth, me. But there's a bonus part 3 to this story, because twice wasn't enough for me to screw up. Fast forward to the present day, about 15 years or so after this incident. My back boil has been with me all this time, and after I emptied it out, it would slowly refill over time and once again I would have a pop-o-matic explosion, and the cycle would continue until I got better at just squeezing it on a semi-regular basis and keeping it on empty. Meanwhile there was now a divot in my back and I no longer have any feeling in that area, so squeezing never hurt me. A reasonable person would have gone to the doctor long ago, but I have clearly shown that not to be my strong suit. I had just gotten used to it. But for some reason, now, I think, what the heck, I might as well ask a doctor about whether anything can be done. So the doc explains to me that he can just, well, cut it out, apparently. I didn't think it would be that easy. I assumed he'd have to do tons of work to squeeze out all the pus and seal it off so it can never hurt anyone again, but no, apparently you can cut the infected area right out of your back, and then get stitches. I go through with it. He makes all these comments about how it's tough as a rock, and I'm hearing all these scraping noises behind me, and he's working that scalpel, scraping away, occasionally confirming that it doesn't hurt, and I keep saying, yeah man, I have no feeling back there, go to town. Eventually he breathes a sigh of relief and says, got it. Want to see it? I'm like, heck yes I do. And he shows me this fleshy orb, the size of a marble, and it smells so rank. Oh man. I couldn't believe this was in my back all these years and I just could have had it removed. I now have a gaping hole in my back, though it's been stitched closed. TLDR, I had a mega pimple on my back, a boil, that I popped in the middle of the night that exploded everywhere on the wall in blood and pus to look like a murder scene, and after cleaning it and stopping the bleeding, I made the mistake the next day of meeting with a girl I liked, stepping out to pop the boil again, and had a repeat of the same problem. And I swiftly re-entered the room holding paper towel on my wound to stop the bleeding and then pressing my back against the chair to hold the paper towel in place and acting all nonchalant. Refused to move and didn't see her out the door but was just like see ya. 15 years-ish later, present day, I finally had the boil removed as a marble-sized, gross, rank cheese ball, and now I got stitches and a hole in my back and I'm an idiot. The end. /edit/ changed the spelling of pus to pus. Whoops, apparently that made for some hilarious sentences. /edit to / it was a cyst, not a boil. I forgot the doctor said it was a cyst. I was calling it a boil for so long my brain just kinda forgot I had been corrected on that. This story is truly something. I'm special. That's why this is a throwaway account. I must hide my shame. You're a good writer. I'm already feeling queasy imagining the ketchup and mustard mix coming out your back. Why imagine? There's a whole section of YouTube dedicated to this stuff. Rollicking good yarn chap. Thanks for the laugh. Glad you enjoyed it. This boil has become like my phantom limb. Every now and then I reach back and feel the area, semi-expecting the need to pop something there. I hate to be that person but it's pus, unless cats came out of your boil, which BTW would be both epic and legendary. 1. I had something similar but sadly it never was squeezable. It used to itch and drive me mad, so eventually I had it cut out, probably in the same way that you had yours done. Lump was unbelievable, but it felt satisfying to finally get rid. 2. I must have something wrong with me because I found that story satisfying.